Hello there, how's it going? It's my 11th recording for the book Atomic Habits, and so far I have talked about the first four chapters. And in this one, I will talk about chapter number 5, the best way to start a new habit. And in this chapter, he talks about two strategies: implementation intentions and habit stacking, in order to create a new habit. So let's begin. Let's begin. The first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. Strategies like implementation intentions and habit stacking are among the most practical ways to create obvious cues for your habits and design a clear plan for when and where to take action. Yeah, they help you determine when and where to take action. Most of us just want to do something, but we are not clear about when and where to do it. So when it's clear when and where to do it, you are more likely to do it. So that's the idea of implementation intention and as well as habit stacking. Let's begin. The two most common cues are time and location. Implementation intentions leverage both of these cues, exactly time and location. So I can give you an example of time. For example, people have a tendency to drink tea every evening. So that's time. Whenever an evening arrives, people will there will be people you will see that they want to drink tea. Or location. Location is very easy to explain. For example, when people go to bed, they might have the urge to use their phone. So that's the location. Location is their bed. Whenever they lay down on their bed, it could be morning, evening, night, they get the urge to use their phone. So, time and location, if you can use both of them, it will be much easier to create a new habit. So, that's what we will do with implementation intention. People who make People who make a specific plan for when and where they will perform a new habit, they are more likely to follow through. Many people think they lack motivation when what they really lack is clarity. It's not always obvious when and where to take action. Some people spend their entire lives waiting for the time to be right to make an improvement. Yeah. Yeah, that's a common idea. Some people spend their entire lives waiting for the time to be right to make an improvement instead of actually thinking about it, right? Because time never changes, you change. Once an implementation intention has been set, you don't have to wait for inspiration to strike. When the moment of action occurs, there is no need to make a decision. Simply follow your predetermined plan. So that's another way to say it. It's a predetermined plan. You have already planned for the action. And this is the plan we are going to make. The simple way to apply this strategy is to fill out the sentence I will behavior at time and location. I can give some example if to make it clear. I will play play piano. Now time can be after I wake up. After I wake up in my room. In my room, piano is in my room. I will read. I will read 48 Laws of Power. So that's the name of the book. Before I go to bed. So that's the time again in my room. So location is not relevant in these examples because I will wake up and play piano in my room and I will go to bed in my room. But you need to be specific about when and where you're going to do it. Now you can make them even more specific. I can say for 10 minutes, and I can say read 2 pages. See how specific I am, and I can say every day. See how specific I am about my habits, and if you are specific, you are more likely to do them consistently. That's That's the idea most successful people use. They have a clear plan of what they will do, when they will do, and how much they will do. So you need to know the behavior, the time, and the location. Only then you will do it. Otherwise, you will just be thinking, I will do it later, I will do it later, I will do it later. And there is another benefit to implementation intentions. Being specific about what you want and how you will achieve it helps you say no to things that derail progress, distract your attention, and pull you off course. Exactly. We often say yes to little requests because we are not clear enough about what we need to do, what we need to be doing instead. When your dreams are vague, it's easy to rationalize little exceptions all day long and never get around to the specific things you need to do to succeed. Give your habits a time and a space to live in the world. The goal is to make the time and location so obvious that with enough repetition, you get an urge to do the right thing at the right time, even if you can't say why. Yeah, exactly. Urge. As I talked about, some people have the urge to drink tea in the evening, or people have the urge to use a smartphone all the time because they use it all the time, and they will use smartphone in during commute, whenever they are waiting, whenever they are relaxing. Those are time and locations. There are multiple times and locations, not one. And he's saying that do something. If you keep thinking about it, even if you think about it for an year, nothing will happen unless you do it. And let's review the habit stacking. The idea of habit stacking is very simple. You can add new habits on top of what you are already doing. So instead of creating a new habit from scratch, you can see your daily routine and see where you can add a new behavior in the routine. Let me read it out to make it clear. Many human behaviors follow this cycle. You often decide what to do next based on what you have just finished doing. No behavior happens in isolation. Each action becomes a cue that triggers the next behavior. Yeah, whatever we are doing is a result of what we did previously. When it comes to building new habits, you can use the connectedness of behavior to your advantage. One of the best ways to build a new habit is to identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behavior on top. Meditation. After I pour my cup of coffee each morning, I will meditate for 1 minute. So, for example, if you drink coffee every morning, you can meditate for 1 minute before you drink the coffee. And gratitude, after I sit down to dinner, I will say one thing I'm grateful for that happened today. So that's another thing. Before you eat dinner, you can say one thing you are grateful for. So these are two very small habits, good habits that you can create. These are just two examples, and see how small they are. Meditation for 1 minute. Anyone can add meditation for 1 minute in their routine, and it's beneficial. And gratitude is beneficial as well. It will increase your happiness drastically if you start looking at the things you have instead of what you don't have every single day. Very good habits. Habits like read more or eat better are worthy causes, but these goals do not provide instruction on how and when to act. Be specific and clear. The more tightly bound your new habit is to a specific cue, the better the odds are that you will notice when the time comes to act. Yeah, that's what most people say. Yeah, I want to eat better or I want to read more, but they never specify how they would do it. For example, for reading more, first you need to actually pick a book and you will need to decide when and where and for how much they're going to read it. Most people actually start making excuses. That's the worst thing. They will give you a reason for why they can't do it. Anyways, chapter summary. The first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. The two most common cues are time and location. Creating an implementation intention is a strategy you can use to pair a new habit with a specific time and location. Habit stacking is a strategy you can use to pair a new habit with the current one, with a current habit. Yeah, so the two most common cues are time and location, and habit stacking and implementation intention are the most efficient way of starting a new habit because they utilize both of them, time and location. This was chapter 5, and in the next recording I will talk about chapter 6. I think this is a very good chapter. Motivation is overrated, environment often matters more. So everything will go back to the cues, making obvious the external environment, what this section talks about. So thank you very much for listening and looking forward on chapter 6.